Malone TV News, man, we be in these streets. You dig?
Come and take a camera flash. Jury game amazing. Car game crazy. Gucci man a flare. What you tell me? See sight chase. When I hit the mall,
let him cook now. Let him cook. I'm done.
Pumped me all day, been there. Switched to Just Hoods last month, best decision ever. My family wears them, from my niece to my uncle, total game changer. Super soft cotton poly mix means all day comfort whether lounging at home or out exploring. And the unisex fit, on point for anyone, anywhere. Snag yours now for just $50. Trust me, once you try Just Hoods, you won't go back. Grab one before they sell out. Don't miss out. Click buy now and elevate your wardrobe today.
What up, YouTube? And we back with another one, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy CM the GOAT 5, man. Malone TV News in the building, back with a new one, you know what I'm saying? Got a good one for you today, man. Two, I think, top-notch real estate tycoon was recently, I think a couple days ago, recently charged with the same crime that P. Diddy was charged with, the S word, sex trafficking charge and all that, and accused of the R word as well as drugging females and stuff like that across state lines and stuff. So we're finna get on into that. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. Go ahead and smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Emerging from a federal indictment against two prominent real estate brokers arrested now in Miami. Federal prosecutors say Tal and Oren Alexander ran a sex trafficking scheme along with their brother Oren that goes back more than 20 years to when they were in high school. According to court filings, the brothers would plot assault well in advance, allegedly working with party promoters to find victims and pooling their resources to pay for the women's travel expenses.
The Alexander brothers' sex trafficking agreement went beyond the planned trips and events. On numerous occasions, one or more of the defendants drugged and raped or sexually assaulted women they encountered by chance at bars, at nightclubs, social events, and dating apps. These assaults allegedly had many of the same hallmarks as the rapes that occurred at group events: isolated locations, drugged victims, force, and physical restraint.
They've been charged with sexual battery and each face 15 years to life in prison. Attorneys for all three men confirmed that they had been arrested, but had no additional comment. Civil rights attorney Areva Martin is joining us now. These allegations are unbelievably serious. Prosecutors allege that these brothers have been involved in sex trafficking, sexual assault of women since 2010. It's 2024. Before this, there were also civil lawsuits that were brought by numerous women against them. So why would it take so long for authorities to go ahead and charge them?
That's a $1 million question, Sarah. Why is it that we are 14 years later after some of the initial allegations and now just seeing criminal charges brought against all three of these brothers? It appears that women have been making reports about sexual assault and clearly making allegations in civil suits involving these brothers. We don't know what has transpired with respect to the investigation. Maybe women weren't comfortable coming forward, talking to law enforcement. We know that historically it's been very difficult for women to make these kinds of allegations against high-profile, wealthy men like these three brothers. But the good news in this case is that there is accountability, finally, because there are allegations, Sarah, that they were bragging about running, quote unquote, a train against women, even in their high school yearbook. So these are very serious and very heinous allegations made against these three men.
When you see these allegations and you see in the indictment that there were others sort of named, they're called others in the indictment, potentially involved, how likely is it that there might be more people indicted in this particular case?
I think the likelihood is great that we will see other indictments. As you said, there are allegations of party promoters, people identified as accomplices in the indictment. Clearly, this was a well-orchestrated, well-planned, thought-out attack against these women that involved more people than just the three brothers. So I would not be surprised. We know that the prosecutor said that the investigation is ongoing. They've asked other victims to come forward. So I suspect we're going to see a lot more women coming forward, telling their stories, and that there may be additional indictments against folks who had knowledge and participated in this sex trafficking scheme.
I want to get your take. There was an article in the New York Times in July on these allegations, and the real estate company, Douglas Elliman, acknowledged per the report that an incident had been raised casually and confidentially to a chief executive without specifying who may have been involved, but rather than in the form of an official HR complaint, a company spokesman went on to say this, quote, that they had any such complaints been received, those complaints would have been thoroughly investigated. What do you glean from the statement from the company that they once worked at, where there was something that was said to a CEO, but there was no official complaint with HR?
Well, what I take from that statement is an effort by this company to cover its tracks. Obviously, this has the potential of involving lots of individuals, including perhaps executives at that company, if not in terms of criminal charges, civil charges, because if someone is working for you and there's a complaint about their conduct, sexual misconduct, there could be liability, civil liability on the part of supervisors, executives, and owners of this company. So clearly anyone involved with these brothers at this point, we should expect to see them trying to shield themselves from civil liability as well as the potential of criminal accountability.
I can't help but look at this case when you see how it is written out and, you know, have it remind you of another case that's been going on where you're talking about lavish parties where they're accused of drugging their alleged victims, raping them. It sounds disturbingly similar to the Sean Diddy Combs cases that have been brought. What do you see happening here on the timing of all of this?
I think the season, Sarah, is here and now for victims of sexual assault. And I mean, what I mean by season is the season to come forward, to demonstrate bravery and courage, to make these claims, to be heard, to be believed. I remember just a decade ago when women would make claims like this against powerful men, whether it was a powerful record executive like Sean Combs, or in this case, real estate executives, it was very difficult. Oftentimes the women would be maligned. They would be, not believed, and oftentimes prosecutors were reluctant to file charges against powerful men. Since the Me Too movement, we've seen a seismic shift in the way these cases are treated. We've seen more women willing to come forward to tell their stories, and we've seen more prosecutors willing to prosecute these cases, and we've seen convictions. So we've actually seen these cases tried in courts and convictions obtained by prosecutors. So I'm encouraged by this as a civil rights lawyer, someone who's done this work for decades, to see this moment where victims are being believed and where they are able to hold predators accountable, even if those predators are rich, if they're famous, and if they are typically thought of as being untouchable.
Areva Martin, it is always a pleasure to talk to you and talk through these important issues. Appreciate it.
The future of your business is here.
No. If you haven't, man, make sure you go get my book, man. You know what I'm saying? Hustle forward, not backward. Mama, I made it. At the bottom, you know what I'm saying? There's a description on the back, tells you a little bit of who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's available at all stores. It's available online at all stores. You know where you can purchase your books at. Your neighborhood books, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon.com. You know, stores like that. Make sure you go and get this book. It's on sale right now at a limited time for $9.99, man, because of the holidays. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you go and get that. Y'all know what I'm going to say. And y'all should already know what I'm going to get into on this situation about this whole sex trafficking case type thing. So you got two twin brothers, is currently, they made bail. So let me ask one question. And you know, I understand the fact that everybody's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. So what's the difference in them getting a bail, and what's the difference in them P. Diddy getting a bail? Why wasn't he able to get a bail, and why these guys was able to get a bail? Will somebody explain that to the world? Will somebody explain that? That's what a lot of us want to know. Why were they able to get a bail? And y'all saying that they've been doing this stuff way back when, since they was in high school, so to speak. Talking about it in high school. Do y'all don't see nothing wrong with that picture? I see something wrong with that picture. I really do. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that sees something wrong with that picture. You know what I'm saying? It's called privilege. I'm just gonna put that word out. We're gonna use that word, so to speak. Privileged people get to be privileged, able enough to get away with certain type of stuff, tactics, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, you can take a guy like Sean Puffy Combs, who put together with his team, with his attorneys and everything, a $50 million bail package, and wasn't even able to get a bond. That's how serious that shows how serious they probably, you know what I'm saying, wanted to manipulate the fact that they wanted him to the point to get him out the street because he was, you know, quote unquote, distracting a lot of issues that was going on, you know. On the other hand, these guys, you got these, you know, blue collar, pretty much, maybe real estate, you know, tycoon that came up off real estate and probably off their parents' wealth or whatever, you know what I'm saying, background or whatever. And they pretty much, you know, made a name for themselves. But instead of that, they still was doing the same thing. It's no different than what the alleged so-called, what Puffy was so-called being accused of. So what's the difference? They get a bail package, and what's the difference in him not getting a bail package? Somebody explain that to the world. You know what I mean? Like, it don't make any sense. Like, 2024 has been one of those years. Like it's been a tough year. It really has, you know. So let's get back into this though. I want to see. Let me see what else we can find on that. Let's see.
Serious charges related to a decades-long sex trafficking ring.
Local 10's Leanne Morajon is in Miami with more on this high-profile case as it heads back to the courtroom today.
The allegations are horrific, and today the Alexander brothers will face judges in both state and federal courthouses. One of those hearings is taking place right now at the courthouse behind me.
She describes it as they had no emotion, almost like it was just another day.
Carissa Peebles is an attorney representing an alleged survivor of sexual assault. This newly filed civil complaint details an alleged rape in Miami back in 2016 at the hands of twin brothers Oren and Alon Alexander and their cousin Ohad Fisherman. The plaintiff says she met Alon on a dating app who then lured her to his condo.
Some might refer to as a gang rape.
No way that was a first time situation where they were so bold and brazen and really no fear of being caught.
The Alexander brothers are also the targets of criminal prosecutions, both state and federal, from Miami to New York, respectively. Investigators allege the brothers used their prestige and wealth from their high-end real estate ventures to victimize women for more than a decade.
This defendant has access to private lanes, private boats. He is a flight risk.
The brothers faced a Miami-Dade judge on the state charges for the first time Thursday, a day after their arrests in Miami Beach Wednesday, with family members in attendance.
Your Honor, I'd like to be able to go to the hospital if my wife gives labor.
Because it's considered a dangerous crime, I'm required to hold you with no bond.
The victim in this latest civil suit released a statement saying in part, quote, "No one should have to carry this burden alone, and I hope this serves as a reminder that justice starts with a single step forward."
Does he have a federal hold as well?
Yes, he does, Your Honor. He has a hold for the FBI.
That federal hold pertains to this indictment out of New York, charging the twins and their brother Tal Alexander
with sex trafficking offenses, as alleged in the indictment between at least 2010 and at least 2021. The Alexander brothers worked together and with others to repeatedly and violently drug, sexually assault, and rape dozens of female victims.
So the hearing underway is a pretrial detention hearing. Attorneys for the Alexanders will argue to the judge as to why their clients should be let out on bail or on house arrest. Again, that's underway now. We'll be inside the courtroom for all of it. A federal hearing is scheduled for 1 p.m. this afternoon. Stay tuned to Local 10 for recaps on all of it. For now, reporting in Miami, Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
Now, somebody tell me what's the difference. Them guys, you know what I'm saying? They end up getting a bill, and then Sean Puffy Combs didn't get no bail. You know what I mean? This man put a $50 million bill package with his team, with his attorney and everything, and they still turned it down. What's the difference? Somebody please explain that to the world. You know what I'm saying? Get down in the comment and explain that. I don't understand like how this world works anymore. I mean, it's always been the same, but it just really come to shows nowadays that it's really to the point where people try to say, "Oh, race is not a factor." Oh yeah, sometimes I think it does play. You know what I'm saying? It comes to that factor. You know. Now I'm starting to understand what Dr. Umar was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really starting to understand the brother, but because at one point in time I was like, well, you know, he's just talking, you know, trying to get doing it for views and likes. Nah, it's really a conscious group out there that's really trying to stop a lot of stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Them top elites, they trying to stop a lot of stuff, man. You know, I've been reading up a lot, and I've been, you know, seeing a lot of videos and stuff on YouTube and stuff. And it's serious. It's a serious situation, man. You know what I mean? Like it's very serious. So let me check out this other one video and let's see what we got. I think that's the one I was looking at first.
Raping multiple girls while in high school. As adults, the indictment alleges the Alexander brothers' serial sexual violence only escalated. Around the same time as Tal and Oren Alexander founded their real estate firm, in 2010, the DOJ states the alleged sex trafficking ring began and ran through at least 2021. In or about July 2011, Tal was accused of sex trafficking out of New York. And then roughly 5 years later, in or about August 2016, the federal indictment says Alon, Oren, and Tal each were accused of sex trafficking. Authorities say the Alexander brothers lured women to international destinations like the Hamptons, Tulum, and Miami. Evidence of this is found in the indictment, which alleges in October of 2016, the Alexander brothers arranged to transport multiple women to Tulum and provide them with drugs.
Cocaine, mushrooms, and GHB. As we allege, these drugs caused some of the women to be physically unable to fight back or to escape.
The state attorney here in Miami has investigated 3 separate incidents of alleged sexual misconduct. The first happening on December 31st, 2016. The second alleged incident was on October 20th, 2017. In a letter to the judge presiding over the Alexander case, the Department of Justice says in January of 2021, Oren and Tal texted about covering up their alleged acts. It reads, "Start to think about reputation you want out there. We are on top of the game, and the only thing can bring us down is some derogatory comment complaining." The final alleged documented incident in the state case happened on October 26, 2021, at this home here on Flamingo Road. So Ahad Fisherman is also facing 1 count of sexual battery in the state case. His lawyer told the Miami Herald he is currently on his honeymoon in Japan and plans to come back to Miami to face his charges. In the newsroom, I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS News, Miami.
Chelsea, thank you.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But you know, that's on another case. But yeah, that's a crazy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? Just somebody explain what's the difference than them guys being able to be more free to get a bail and all that, you know. Not to say, you know what I'm saying, like, I mean, Diddy, you know what I'm saying, he allegedly did what he did or whatever, and he got to face his consequences during his trial or whatever. But at the same time, you know, everybody has a right for a bail within the court of law. You know what I'm saying? Like, to a certain extent, you know. And I'm just not understanding. Like literally. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all jot down in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this situation, about this video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy see I'm the GOAT 5 Malone TV News, man. We out on to the next. Deuces.